Hi everyone, this is John with Sir Winston Honeybees, and I'm out here at the apiary. And I was out here only 2 days ago, and the reason I'm out here is because today I've decided to treat my bees with Formic Pro, or formic acid. So it's a product made by this company called NOD Apiary Products, and it is one of their two popular products. Again, what I'm doing is I'm using this acid, Formic Pro or formic acid. I'm going to put it in the hives to kill Varroa mites, Varroa destructor. Now I did a mite count the other day on hive number 2 with Old Queen, after I found Old Queen, who's laying eggs and doing great in there. The brood looks fantastic, and I was able to locate the queen. Everything looked great in hive number 2, but when I went into hive number 1, there were some huge concerns. I couldn't find the queen, which is not unusual because I normally can't find queen, but I didn't find any eggs. 0 eggs were in that hive. I did see some young larvae, but I also saw some odd brood, uncapped brood, that the caps had kind of been eaten off a little bit, and the brood inside looked a little bit kind of dry. Didn't look right. So I consulted with my Facebook group, and these guys are experts, and I thank you so much for your advice. And they said treat your hive right away because you might have mite disease in hive number 1. So we're going to treat with Formic Pro. And so what we're going to do is, real quick, I'm going to explain the process just so you know. So first of all, formic acid is naturally found in honey, according to the NOD Facebook or the NOD video YouTube channel. And it doesn't harm the bees. It only kills the Varroa destructor mite. And actually, you can use it during honey flow season, which we're about to go into a flow right now because the fall flowers, especially the goldenrod, is starting to pop. So that's a good thing, but the other thing they recommend is take off the feeder. So I did put a feeder on hive number 2. I'm going to take that off, and so hive number 1 is going to look its normal height for during this treatment. It's a 14-day treatment. I'm going to put 2 pads in there. So what I'm going to do is, number 1, I'm going to remove the entrance reducer on both hives. And number 2, real quickly, I'm just going to lower or remove the top brood box. Well, in hive number 1, I'm going to remove the honey super. I'm going to remove the top brood box, and quickly I'm going to put the formic acid pads on top of the bars on the lower brood box. And then I'm going to put the top brood box back on top and the honey super back on top of that. And I'm going to leave that alone for 14 days. I'm not even going to come back until that treatment's over. I'm going to do the same thing with hive number 2. Of course, there's no honey supers on there, so I just have to remove the top brood box and put the pads on, close it up. I'm going to remove the robbing guard just because it has to be ventilated so not to damage the bees. And that's the other thing I'm concerned about, is that there could be brood loss, but more importantly, there could be queen loss. So I'd hate to lose my old queen, who's very good, but the important thing is that you have to treat within certain temperature parameters. And right now it's about 79 degrees. It is August 30th, 2021 here in Northeast Ohio. It's been raining a lot and it's buggy as hell. I kind of feel like I'm in an episode of Naked and Afraid and the bugs are eating me alive. Thank God I'm not naked. Not just for me, but also for you. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the hives. Remove the entrance reducer, put the Formic Pro on. I'll give you a close-up of hive number 2 as I do the process, and then I'll go ahead and do the same thing for hive number 1. Hopefully this will solve my problems. Fingers crossed we don't lose our queen. So the first thing I'll be doing is I'm going to go ahead and remove the entrance reducer in both hives. In hive number 2, I have the robbing guard. And so we shouldn't have a problem with robbing as we treat, because the acid will, it's pretty potent. And then we want to ventilate the hive as we do the treatment. So first of all, we'll go ahead and remove the entrance reducers in both hives. As you can see, we've got some bearding after we put the Formic Pro in. The fumes and everything, there'll be more bearding, but that's just, part of the process. As you can see, the bees are a little bit excited right now. I don't know if they're happy or they're a little bit ticked off. I would think having a lot of room to come and go would make them happy. Well, that's one way of doing it. There's a lot of pollen over here that's falling off their legs as they try and enter through this guard. Kind of cool to see all that pollen. Gonna leave that there for the girls so they can take it in. All right, so I've taken off my top brood box. As you can see, I've got plenty of bees there. I should smoke them down, but I didn't light a smoker. I think they should be okay. I'm just gonna move them out of the way, get this Formic Pro going, return the top brood box, put the hive back together. This time I'm gonna make sure the top entrance reducer is also available to them. So some more ventilation. To do this, we're using these plastic gloves or rubber gloves for safety. These are pretty old. As you can see, they ripped over here because of my Hulk-like massive hands. And so it's what my British counterparts like to call the marigold gloves, because that's the brand of glove. So we're going to go ahead and protect our hands, obviously, protect our equipment. Cut this open. So this is what NOD likes to call the sachet. I'm going to go ahead and sachet and then away and use the inside, and you'll see what the formic acid looks like. So take it out to 2 packets. There should be 2 pads of Formic Pro, and there's an outside paper layer which you leave on there. Tear it. Let's go ahead and slide some bees out of the way. It goes like this. This one's going to go like this. Slide it over a little bit. And that way we have all 10 frames covered. Now we go ahead and return our top frame. So it's closer to the end of the day, which is ideal. Most of our bees are home and returning home, so we're going to get a lot of them walking on the formic pad and bringing the formic acid into the hive. What does it do? Well, basically, the acid is going to go inside the cells where the larvae are and kill the mite. So that's kind of what we're hoping to do with our formic acid. It is very strong. Some bees will probably die, some older bees will die, and hopefully, fingers crossed, our queen will not suffer because of this treatment. And again, we're going to make the top entrance available. All right, well, there you have it. 2 hives treated with formic acid, Formic Pro from NOD. You saw the close-up I showed you on hive number 2. Again, that's the one I'm most worried about because I love my queen in there. So fingers crossed that she'll be okay at the end of this treatment. Hive number 1, that's the hive that's, we have the most concerns with, right? That's the hive that has, no eggs, queen can't be found. We have some young larvae, but it's not like super young. Like old queen, she lays, like a queen, right? But hive number 1, the new queen, I don't know what's going on with her. I didn't see any supersedure cells, but if she dies off or she might have slowed down, she might die, and she'll be replaced. Hopefully, we'll be able to get her mated and back laying soon enough. In the meantime, the acid does its work for 14 days. The bees will continue to collect pollen and nectar. Like I said, the flow is on with the goldenrod, and so that's our best hope right now. All right, so again, 2 weeks. We're not going to come in here and open these up for another 2 weeks and just let the formic acid do its thing. Temperatures, I can already feel it cooling down, so I'm pretty confident that we're not above the 85-degree threshold, and let's see what happens. All right, so wish me luck, and again, I want to thank you for watching. As always, remember to subscribe, remember to get those notifications, and give me a thumbs up. Again, I'm a new beekeeper. I'm learning as I go, and some of you might be new beekeepers as well, and so my bees might be teaching you something. They teach me something every day, and hopefully we'll keep it going. So thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, I'm John with Sir Winston Honeybees, and happy bees, everybody.